yellow on the inside. How much will his teammate Kirkwood challenge him from the outside? They're side by side for third.
3 or 4 wide behind. Are we going to get someone in the wall? I see Christian Rasmussen, Santino Ferrucci. Also big damage to the AJ Foyt machine as the rest of the field files through unscathed. And now they blast down Lakeshore into turn 3. Great opportunity for an overtake here.
They stay green, they'll run 2 wide through turn 3, which you can do. Marcus Armstrong looking super aggressive as the full course caution is out. But that number 11 orange and white car was pushing hard on the start.
Get it started.
Christian Rasmussen.
My right front is completely bent in. I won't be able to get back.
And actually, I was guessing Ferrucci had the bigger damage, but maybe it's just the nose cone.
It was Marcus Ericsson, I think, on the inside of Rasmussen. You see the defending race winner, Lundgaard, trying to go on the outside. He was the one that nearly made it 5 wide. Armstrong, one of the JHR cars, and then you see Marcus Ericsson there get into Rasmussen and just clips the left front of the wall.
And as Rasmussen was getting into the wall, Lundgaard swerved right, and that's what pushed Ferrucci off of Pato Award into the wall. On board here with Lundgaard. Watch him swerve as he knows Rasmussen's going to get in the wall.
So he pushes the number 6 of Nolan Siegel further left. Oh, that's right, that's Pato Award in the 5 car. Let's ride on board with Pato.
Right side, left side, in the middle, right side.
There's Ferrucci on the inside, and he just gets forced as Lundgaard comes across. Really nothing either Pato or Santino could do in that moment.
Yeah, it's just Lundgaard taking avoidable action.
Back looking outside.
On board here with Siegel.
Let's go again from T.O. and a big jump for Herta.
Monster jump for Colton Herta. Brilliant job through the final corner. He has to get a good exit right here. Keep it smooth. No big slides as the field single file until Pato Award makes a move on Marcus Ericsson. That was textbook. Well done.
Nice late pullout on the brakes there from Award. Gets it done. Can Ericsson maybe fight back down Lakeshore here? But man, Kyle Kirkwood almost sleeping a little bit at that restart. Colton had such a big jump. We see a few guys looking, a few guys defending. That's one of the JHR cars right up the back of Marcus Armstrong, side by side with power. Sorry, Dixon now in the wall.
Is that Canapino or Grosjean? It's Canapino in the 78, side by side with, I believe, Scott Dixon. And Canapino went for a ride and a concrete slam.
Unfortunate end.
So the orange and blue car of Scott Dixon, was there any Yes, there was. So Canapino turned in to the right rear of Scott Dixon and just bounced enough to send him on his way right here. Boom.
It shot so quickly. I wonder if
kicked the wheel out of his hands potentially.
We can watch on board here from Dixon, who nearly got into the back of Armstrong. So yeah, it's hard to see.
Colton Herta is going to get them set up again. Kyle Kirkwood right behind him. Let's see if he pounces a little bit stronger this time. Blue car is McLaughlin in third, then Rosenquist, Newgarden, Grosjean, Malukas, Power, Rahal, and Armstrong. And around turn 11, green again. And once again, a good start for Herta. Maybe a little bit of challenge back there in fourth for Rosenquist. In his single file, we get through one.
I'm starting to wonder if there was a team discussion at Andretti Global to hang back on restarts for the driver in second to make sure there's no big incidents into turn 1, because that was another big gap between Kyle
Here
and
comes
Colton.
Graham Rahal. Look at him inside the 12 of power. Graham backs out, I think wisely there. It looked good at the start, but he made a high percentage decision. Marcus Armstrong still ahead of his teammate Scott Dixon there. 2 orange and blue cars on board here with Dixon, thanks to PNC. Let's just ride for a few corners. How does the master, the 6-time champion, how does he play his cards right now with the early chaos?
Looks pretty smooth, just saving fuel, trying to take care of your tires, running around in that dirty air. It's going to wear out those Firestones a little bit quicker. So you see the hybrid status down there. Charges up into turn 1, and you'll see probably a full deployment here on the back straight as he tries to keep up and maybe attack Armstrong in front.
And we've got a green flag lap in the books. The run down to the passing zone in turn 3 at the end of Lakeshore.
Feels nice, doesn't it? Having a green flag lap, and here we go. Will Power now on David Malukas down into 3, and then a little bit of contact, I think, between Armstrong into the back of Rahal as he had to check up for those 2 cars in front. So Power going from under attack from Rahal 1 lap to making a move on Malukas a lap later, and every car that he gets by that Palou does not, or Palou stays where he is, that championship lead shrinks for the Ganassi driver.
The guy that I think was actually loving the restarts was Colton Herta. Why he's now 3rd in points with the lead, and the more drama that happens behind him, the better chance that Power or Palou could get caught up in it. I think he's comfortable leading on a restart. He doesn't feel like he's under any particular threat from his teammates. So Colton Herta firmly in control of the race right now, and maybe a little bit of championship outcome.
The real struggle here is he might be able to keep Grosjean behind him, Scott McLaughlin, but the gap now to the leader almost 9 seconds.
Not sure I understand why they're staying out, other than the fact that because they started on scuffed greens, they'll have to run sticker greens too, so they probably know that they're going to have to shorten up another stint here. They're in a bit of a hole, perhaps caught off guard by misreading things in the warm-up. Too soon to say. They certainly know how to get to victory lane, but right now it looks like a struggle bus as Grosjean under pressure. Will Power to the outside.
You can do it there. You can roll. Oh, opened his hands up big time.
Opened his hands and flared his elbows.
That was some very aggressive defensive driving, and Power's going to take note of that. He is going to absolutely repay the favor if he gets a chance to get on the inside of the 77 anywhere around this racetrack.
Kevin, there's a Toowoomba temper that's only skin deep there, and Grosjean might have scratched a little too much.
Do you remember at Road America during a practice last year when Will Power told me somebody needs to punch Grosjean in the nose? He may be thinking that again right now. Colton Herta is certainly comfortable. He has been fastest in every session this weekend, won the pole, fastest in the warm-up. If he were to win the race today, he would become the first that we can find ever in IndyCar that has led every single session and won the race. That's the kind of domination that Colton Herta has had as we watch his Gamebridge onboard.
About 10 laps from his pit. Let's just watch the fastest kid this weekend. How does he do it?
Tell us more about the leader, Dylan.
I just think it's interesting. You know, it's been 6 straight races that Colton has started on the pole that he has not been able to find victory lane. So Colton echoed this after qualifying yesterday, as did Rob Edwards, his strategist, this morning. Simply put, they don't feel like they need to do anything crazy or special this weekend. The car has just been that good. But since Detroit at the beginning of June, both he and Rob feel like they've just been really solid from an execution perspective. They just kind of need that random generator of yellows in whatever lap that comes on. Just need it to fall in their favor. So just a little bit of luck would go a long way for this 26 car. But they have been so strong. They know they've been strong. They know they don't have to do anything wild today. Just kind of keep it between the walls and hope that everything else out of their control falls their way.
Well, you've got to get to about lap 49. So that's 18 laps from now. So if Malukas can hang on until then, he should be good.
Palou trying hard to get around Malukas. Malukas on those cold tires just out of the pits. You really don't want to get trapped behind another car side by side through 3. Big risk here for the championship leader.
And he knew it. Alex Palou has seen enough behind the wheel and enough through the years here at Toronto to know the rim shot in turn 3 can really bite you if you don't own the position like Dixon did earlier. So Palou wisely backing out of that dodgy situation.
And every lap that goes by, you're getting closer to that pit stop for the leaders. As Rahal comes in, he's going to get, a steering wheel change while he's at it. He's going to change tires. He's going to change 5 wheels.
Let's see how much time it costs him.
Wow, that
2
was
seconds?
impressive.
About 2 seconds extra on a steering wheel change.
They would have been waiting for fuel too. I mean, 7.7 is not an atypical length for a stop on a full fill. That was super impressive.
You'd be tugging on that thing right now just to make sure it's tight as you fire down into turn 1 under green. Graham Rahal, I've never seen a steering wheel change in under 15 seconds. That's impressive.
I wonder what the issue.
Uh-oh. You see Grosjean come back in the blend. And come out right behind Will Power there. But under attack, Pato O'Ward will come through.
Pato O'Ward thinking about it and decisively making his move on Romain Grosjean at the last second. He was not happy yesterday, guys, after qualifying. Started 14th. He was held up by Alex Palou as Romain Grosjean almost gets in the back of Pato O'Ward in the brake zone.
And Palou was penalized for interference in qualifying. That's why he started so far back in 18th. O'Ward was the one that was penalized, but he did not advance either. Dylan.
There's Felix Rosenqvist, has been strong all weekend, is running in the 3rd spot. They'll take the primaries off. Sticker set of alternate tires on for Rosenqvist.
So where does Felix Rosenqvist blend out as Newgarden's going to round the corner? Rosenqvist on cold tires. Newgarden's going to brake deep and try to make it happen on the back straight.
This is how they were running before the pit stop cycle began. Rosenqvist in 3rd, Newgarden in 4th. But Newgarden's got to run here.
Rosenqvist going to defend to the inside, going to make Joseph go the long way around, but can Joseph do the dummy? He does. That is textbook Newgarden. Goes way, way deep, a full car width off the apex, but both drivers playing nice there and making it through. Why am I not surprised that Scott Dixon's the last guy to come to pit lane? So impressive.
You mean he's good on fuel?
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard this about him. He might have a future in this fuel-saving business.
Here's what's fun. All the last few years, the accusations of trickery with Scott Dixon and fuel savings. Now in the hybrid era, there's a unified fuel flow sensor, and he's still doing it.
Look, and that's another lap he's at it. He skipped pit lane again. So pitting on lap 35 for the other leaders, it's going to be at least 37.
And he's on the push to pass aggressively. Why? He's got a clean track. In lap, he's going to go as fast as he can and see who he can overcut in this sequence.
He's doing quick laps. The last one was 1:01.3. This one is at 1:01.5. Fastest on track. So Dixon, who started back in 15th, will get an idea of what his charge is like. How much ground has he made up by going longer and getting some clean track at the end?
So about 27 seconds lost on a stop. Right now he's 15 seconds ahead of Colton Herta, but that 25-27 seconds would blend him out right around Romain Grosjean and his teammate Marcus Armstrong. Let's see if he pits here. He will.
This will be great to see what kind of progress he can make up through the field, Dill.
And nobody has scored more points on street courses this year than Scott Dixon in this 9-car, 2 wins and a 7th at the season opener at St. Pete. They will go to the sticker alternate tires here, try and make this as short a stint as possible. You see the Shell fuel going in as well. And we'll see where Dixon blends in here once everybody else cycles through.
Maybe keeping an eye on Grosjean, Armstrong in that situation to see where he comes out on the main straight. There goes McLaughlin. Oh, he's going to move up significantly. He's in front of Will Power.
Really did a great job there with the overcut. Can he hold off Will Power? These two guys have history, James. This could get a little crazy.
They've done it before. Let's see what happens. The blue lights on the side of Will's dash tells you he's on the overtake for sure. Dixon is as well ahead. He's not going to have the same grip under braking, but he's got a good amount of gap. Nothing Power can do from that far back.
Now Dixon will get tire temp because Power really can't make a move through this section. And Dixon will put his head down and go after Scotty Mack.
There's Teo Pourchaire filling in for Alexander Rossi this weekend on very short notice, trying to get around Toby Sowery there, and Pourchaire has a close call.
See what it looked like from the onboard.
Great runs out of gear a little bit later on the brakes, ahead at turn in, but Sowery locks up. I think Pourchaire maybe did as well. There's a bit of room between the two, but
oh boy, Toby Sowery wide in 6, all crossed up, massive oversteer, and what does Pourchaire do with that opportunity? He slides right by.
That was a huge save. We've seen a couple times, if you could just get a little bit offline, it's so dirty. That's what caught out Alex Rossi, recovering from the broken thumb as a result of that. We wish him a speedy recovery. but that was a great save from Sowery as we ride on board with Mission Foods on board with Teo.
Alex Palou, championship leader.
Marcus Armstrong on the blacks. Palou and Ericsson on the greens. Armstrong started on the green tire. Palou using this middle stint to run the greens.
There we go. Ericsson's got a nice run. Palou having to defend a little bit. Big lunge for Marcus down the inside. Green tires on green tires makes it stick.
It's like everybody knows that Palou can't take huge chances as the championship leader, and they're ganging up a bit in those heavy brake zones, firing it up the inside, and Palou continues to leave room, not defending very aggressively.
Siegel is actually the third fastest car on the racetrack, Charlie, as Joseph Newgarden comes to pit lane.
He has to come around the outside front of the 21 car. Rinus VeeKay behind him, brand new, slightly scuffed. Oh, problem on the left rear. The left rear is loose. He's trying to launch. They're trying to get him to stop. They missed getting that left rear tight. They haven't got the car back up in the area yet. Big problems for the 2 car. They dropped the car before getting that left rear nut on, and he's away.
Oh, that is brutal for Newgarden. They were on for about a 4.5 second stop, which would have been huge in the battle with Herta and Kirkwood because they didn't need full fuel. Neither will Kirkwood or Herta, but Team Penske, I thought they were going to be able to jump them there, and that is just a tough blow for Newgarden.
Cycles out behind Palou, who was just running in and around 10th place. You see it there, 11th for Newgarden. Still some stops to happen, certainly, as now the Andretti Global cars. We saw Kirkwood lining his stuff up there, and the leader, Dylan, is in pit lane, his teammate right behind.
Yeah, pit road busy all the way here at the front of pit road. This is what it's going to come down to between these 2 Andretti teammates. Kyle Kirkwood said, we're just as good as Colton. We just got to maybe be a little bit better on pit road. That'll be the difference maker. They'll go to the primary tires for Kirkwood. Same story as well for Herta. Smooth stop for him. Who wins the race off pit road between these 2? Looks like Colton's going to get it.
Boy, that car was dropping just as the right rear got the wheel nut on. Those were razor-thin margins. We saw it go bad for Newgarden, but boy, the Gainbridge crew getting it done. But it was absolutely tight margins between the car coming down too early and the right rear wheel nut being secure.
So now Dixon and Ericsson have not made their second and final stop. A little further back, Ray Hall also needs to stop again, and now he is in pit lane at the moment.
So this is nice. They're kind of splitting strategies at Andretti Global, leaving Ericsson out a little bit longer, trying to see how far he can stretch those as Power looks to try to get a move on Rosenquist, who's half defending against Power, half looking at McLaughlin. McLaughlin still again on those alternates. Oh, into 5, big lunge. Nicely done from Will Power with authority.
Scott Dixon's in pit lane. Dylan.
Let's see what kind of magic the 9 team can work. Did an overcut of the leaders once again here. Final stop of the day for Scott Dixon. Primary tires going on, and the launch is smooth. They've had a little trouble with that today, but that one was smooth for Dixon.
Not as quick as they would have hoped at 6.9 seconds. They didn't need full fuel as Dixon comes out ahead of McLaughlin.
So this is a net third on track. Oh, we have a car in the wall. Linus Lundqvist, he's backed all the way out of it. If he can fire it up, that's one of the features of this hybrid. Teo Porcher involved in this as well. It's a very uphill section of racetrack. You see the 7 rolling backwards.
Who, by the way, is trying to understand the hybrid. He's never done anything
right
Front
with
left
this.
puncture.
That's Porcher being told, front left puncture. You can see it right in front of the leaders he got rolling, managing to stay green.
Dixon and Scott McLaughlin are come racing up behind.
And to the pit lane. Shoulders more of the blame, but
Hey,
guys, we got to race up front.
Kirkwood's coming.
Headed down into the passing zone. Kirkwood not close enough this time. This one is not over yet.
Also, Dixon and McLaughlin pretty close down the back straightaway. On board here with AutoNation and Kyle Kirkwood.
Rosenquist, turn 3 runoff.
Oh man, it's been a brutal 2
Oh,
laps.
no.
Marcus Ericsson was just coming out of the pits. And you have to think that Ericsson was trying to defend on cold tires.
So it's gone away here in the last 5 minutes for 3 in the top 10. Rosenquist and Newgarden have been fighting for 3rd and 4th. They've lost position. Ericsson was moving forward, thinking maybe 7th or 8th.
It was shaping up to be such a good comeback drive. Let's see. Oh, big dive from Rosenqvist. I think he got into the back of the 28. Maybe some contact there.
Did Ericsson throw a little bit of a shoulder fade there, right in the brake zone?
Gonna have to take another look at it.
That looked to be a little dicey. Onboard here from Rosenqvist. Watch Ericsson's car. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Right when you get to the brakes, there's been some horrible accidents here at Toronto in situations like that, and I don't like that move. I think that's worthy of a review. However, you look at push to pass remaining, and Scotty D had to use up about 3/4 of his 200-second allocation. Meanwhile, Herta and Kirkwood comfortably juiced up as the yellow's going to come out here for Kiffin Simpson.
Who was just saying that a yellow could make this game on?
It's not my fault. Andretti Global, it's not my fault. I don't have that control.
Let's take a look. Just getting it a little bit hot. Eerily similar to the Rossi crash.
Like identical.
Going back to green in Toronto, Colton Herta with a massive jump. Kirkwood has a little bit of a cushion too. It's McLaughlin that is going to think about Dixon for third.
Kind of surprised that Kirkwood didn't jam up onto the back of Herta a little closer.
I'm not. It's been every start and restart so far. There was a discussion at that team. I almost guarantee you that if you guys are running nose to tail, give each other the buffer. Let's settle it in turn 3.
Let's see what happens at the brake zone here. Kirkwood pretty close. Anybody further back going for a lunge? Not yet.
Oh, bit of a reactive move there from Will Power, trying to keep Pato O'Ward behind. Could certainly argue that he was trying to fake out Alex Palou. The rest of the field seemingly getting through okay. Some side-by-side action behind.
Lundgaard thinking about Marcus Ericsson. Ericsson had tried to get Marcus Armstrong, but lost a little bit of ground. Here's Pato O'Ward, has done a nice job of moving forward. 6th from his starting position of 14th. Black and orange, or Papaya Arrow McLaren car. He's right in front of Alex Palou. Those are 2 championship contenders. Palou, the DHL, came in as the leader. O'Ward came in 3rd.
McLaughlin doing a great job there on those used greens. Well used as Pato O'Ward sideways, and Marcus Ericsson. Oh boy! Oh my goodness! Santino Ferrucci launches inverted.
And just about 1/3 of the field has been collected. The big one here on the streets of Toronto, and Ferrucci is upside down.
Okay.
And you hear the words. Ferrucci says he's okay.
And there it is. The red flag waves. The cars will come down.
Sorry about that.
Come down pit lane. So let's see. We know that it starts with Pato O'Ward, who just gets in a little wide, a little hot, spins around. Ericsson locks up, nowhere to go.
I think that was Pietro got into Pato O'Ward first.
I believe you're right.
Then Nolan Siegel.
Let's see again this incredible angle.
And watch Palou, the championship leader, just barely gets by there, and he has to hang on to it. There was a big wiggle. Who clipped
Ericsson.
him?
I think this is Pietro
That's
Fittipaldi
Pietro.
in the hub car, and then Ferrucci.
And then Pourchaire
Wow.
hits his teammates.
Fencing did a great job keeping
Really
that car
did.
inside the track. Coming right back to where it should. Nolan Siegel,
That
big
was Siegel,
contact as
Yeah.
well.
Pourchaire got through. That was Siegel.
Yeah.
Another angle.
Oh my goodness, that is such a terrible feeling.
10 to go in Toronto. Here we go again, and it's another big jump for Colton Herta. Kirkwood seems safe. What kind of run can Dixon have? First into 1, then into 3. McLaughlin taking a little look, not close enough.
Great start from both the Andretti Global drivers as McLaughlin's looking racy. All over the back of the PNC Bank machine of Scott Dixon out of 2.
Will Power's right there as well, so that battle for 3rd looking feisty. Here they come to the brake zone. How aggressive does McLaughlin go?
Blue car peaking, Power right behind him thinking about it. Palou championship leader back there as Newgarden tries to force his way through side by side, working with his teammate there. Big wiggle for David Malukas, and now
McLaughlin's in the wall.
And contact with Rinus VK, it looked like, in another car. And this could be another full course caution.
Oh.
Who was that? Was that
Will
his teammate
Power.
or was that? That was Will Power up the inside. Yes, it was. On board here. Let's watch this.
We've seen Power make this move before today. Just completely locked the rear tires, had to correct out of it.
So you got Newgarden with the puncture, McLaughlin's out. Power might get a drive-through.
Very likely.
All right, let's go again. Back up to speed. Colton Herta around turn number 11. Time to go again from Toronto. Herta, Kirkwood, Dixon, Power. A little further back. Palou.
Palou looking a little defensive there as David Malukas might have a run on the backstretch, and we understand that race control has reviewed the incident with Power and McLaughlin, and the number 12 driver, Will Power, will have to do a drive-through.
And he will fall all the way down to 12th, with that, which, as you say, is going to promote Palou and just open up that championship gap. Armstrong on the outside of David Malukas, who's boxed in there, can't make it stick, can they? Gets it done on the outside.
Gotta watch out for another cut tire there.
Grosjean going defensive against Newgarden into 5.
Very defensive.
So a disastrous lap for Team Penske. They had all 3 cars in position to finish at least in the top 7. Now they might have one finish in the top 10. Drive-through coming for the number 12 of Will Power, who ducks in. So Alex Palou is up to 4th now.
And once they cycle through, we'll take a look at the points as they run. The difference is going to be phenomenal. It was 33 points with Will running in 4th position. With him now down in 12, it's opened up to 49 points. Massive swing in favor of Alex Palou, who's just having another great damage control day.
But as they run right now, Colton Herta moving up 2 spots in the championship. He'd be 4th if he can bring home the win today.
And Kirkwood is staying pretty tight. Herta will have to stay perfect to finish this one off. No mistakes allowed. White flag for Colton Herta. Under 2 miles to go to get back to victory lane for the first time in more than 2 years. Last great passing opportunity is here. Kirkwood not close enough to challenge. Is anyone else a little further back? Not up front. VK and Grosjean might mix it up back there for 8th.
Yeah, VK got around Romain Grosjean, I believe, down in turn 1. But Colton Herta doing everything right all 3 days of the weekend.
Michael Andretti won here 7 times, more than anyone else. Has won once as a car owner, has not had a win this entire season. They've been quick, especially on street races. Today in Toronto and this weekend, they put it all together. Colton Herta dominates the weekend, leads every session for the first time in IndyCar history, and Herta has won for the first time in over 2 years. It's a 1-2 for Andretti Global in Toronto.
Been waiting a long time to do those victory donuts. We know it's going to lead to some victory tacos later in the night, but
no-hander too. Steering with his knee, California style.
These are proper.
Yeah, he wants to make sure there's no tire left on that rim when he gets back to pit lane. And there it is.
And Kyle Kirkwood, one of the first there to greet him. It's a 1-2 for Andretti Global, and the 24-year-old Californian Colton Herta is back in victory circle.
Colton, when you have the weekend like you had leading into today, the expectations were pretty high. Was there a result other than this one that was going to be acceptable?
I mean, yeah, but we've been knocking on the door of a win for so long. You know, 41 starts without a win is a long time, and it's been disappointing for us. I think we're a team. Michael's an owner that demands perfection and demands results. We're people that work for that team that demand that. So, man, I'm so happy. This Cambridge Honda was so fast. Finally get a win in such a long time. It feels so good, and I can't wait. I wish we didn't have this long break now. I want to go right back into it and win another one.
Up next, it's the Bommarito Automotive Group 500, Saturday, August 17th. Watch it at 6 p.m. on USA Network.